good afternoon. I'm not able to find the right words to say how much I am grateful for your contribution, for your presence here, and also for this outstanding international conference closing our excellence project. Let me once again thank you to all the speakers, discussants, and also the audience. And it's my pleasure also starting thanking the head of the department, Professor Bocuzzo, inviting her to give her greetings. Please.
Okay. Well, first of all, I will be very brief because I've already talked too much in these days. Okay. Well, we wanted to close our conference in Palazzo Bo, which is the headquarters of the University of Padua, and especially in Aula Magna, this wonderful place. And after the conference, you will have the opportunity to visit the Bo Palace and the Anatomical Theater, one of the jewels of our university. The conference was a valuable opportunity for our department to welcome the best statisticians and share research with you, and we will cherish the memory of this conference. And we could not have been ended the 5 years excellence project in a better way, I think, I'm sure. So on behalf of the Department of Statistical Science, I thank you for your participation, and I hope the conference will be also the opportunity to start with new initiatives and exchanges. And finally, I really thank the prorector, Professor Zattin, who brings the closing greetings on behalf of the rector that could not be here today. So, thanks again.
So, as I said in my opening speech, our department strongly recognizes the importance to encourage new talents and the research work of the young members of our department. So we are very proud of your interest in our poster session, actually their poster session. We have a best hour committee that is composed by, I hope to say the name correctly, by Professor Fugert-Schnatter, Professor Giebels, and Professor Sartori, the director of our PhD program in statistics. Thus, I'm glad to invite here the committee to announce the winners of this our competition.
Well, first of all, let me thank the organizing committee for giving us the chance to go through carefully to all the posters, and let me thank personally Irene and Silvia for doing the job with me. It's been quite hard, and I want to read, ask Irene if I could read an email that she wrote to the organizing committee, and she said it was a real pleasure to do this. And there was really a lot of interest during the poster session, which is a very good sign. And I think you and the whole department should be very proud about the work of the junior members, and in extension, all members. The committee did not have an easy task, which is no problem, due to the quality. As we expressed strongly to each other last night, all junior people should be encouraged to keep up the good working standard and spirit. And Silvia just wrote right after, and she said, I couldn't agree more with Irene's words. And it's exactly what I think, of course. So it's been hard to decide, and of course the result is subjective. Probably 3 different people would have chosen maybe a different poster because the quality was outstanding, I would say. So I will move on with the name of the winners. Actually, we also decide that since the quality was so high, not only to give 3 prizes, but also an honorable mention. So I will start with that. So the honorable mention goes to Anna Montin, and the poster was locally gamma ray sources on celestial sphere with modal clustering. Maybe you give this. Oh, we can go more in the middle, they say. Okay. So I go. Congratulations. Oh, I'll move to the 3rd place. The 3rd place is Lorenzo Schiavone with a work called Fast Structured Matrix Factorization. Oh, you do that. Oh, that's okay, maybe you stay here, so we take a picture. Let's move to the 2nd place. The 2nd place is Noemi Corsini, and the poster is dealing with overdispersion in multivariate count data. And finally, the 1st prize goes to Nicolas Bianco, and the poster is approximate Bayesian inference for dynamic sparsity in time-varying parameter model. But again, I want to congratulate all the participants to the poster session, because really, it was really hard to pick up 4, actually, out of all of them. And I mean, you should be all proud of your work. Okay, congratulations again.
It's my great pleasure to invite here the Vice Rector, Professor Massimiliano Zattin.
Thank you, Giovanna, and good afternoon, dear colleagues and dear guests. I'm very pleased on behalf of our rector to give my closing remarks to this international conference. I thank all the organizers, starting from the scientific committee and the colleagues of the Department of Statistical Sciences and the speakers that accepted to come to Padova and contribute to this successful meeting. My congratulations again to the Department of Statistical Science for the realization of this conference and the conclusion of the project of excellence, which has been able to bring together such a large amount of world-leading scientists. As you know, this is a special year for the University of Padova. We are celebrating 800 years since our foundation. And this conference is part of the ambitious program of initiatives that we had this year. Just to mention, we have hosted so far 5 Nobel Prizes. So 800 years is a long journey through the centuries that saw researchers, scientists, scholars from all Europe that dedicated their life to science And we were especially lucky enough to have in Padova the father of scientific method, as you know. Galileo Galilei was here. He taught here, exactly in this room, during the best years of his entire life, as he wrote once to a friend. So I'm very glad that you close your meeting here from this inspiring place, I would say, where modern science had one of its major steps. Today, after this long journey, the University of Padova has something about 70,000 students. We have more or less 2,200 academics, 32 departments, 29 of which have been classified excellent according to the recent ranking of the ministry. And among them, I want to mention once again the Department of Statistical Science. So congratulations again. This celebration, however, do not want to be just a kind of self-celebration, because we know that this has to be an opportunity to reflect on the past and imagine the future. For all this year of celebration, we decided to put our motto at the center, Universa Universis Patavina Libertas, which means in Padova, we can find liberty for all in all the areas of science, as we know that freedom of thought and opinion has characterized the University of Padova since its inception. Probably never as today, we are realizing the fundamental value that the science has. It is the best way to understand the increasing complexity of our contemporary world. And in fact, this meeting was about complexity. The proposed theme here was highly topical. In the face of complex phenomena and processes, there is a need for increasing the refined cognitive and interpretative tools which are strategic for all disciplines in order to have valid, quantitative, documentable, and reproducible information. It is noteworthy that this conference addressed a wide spectrum of applications, ranging from science, technology, society, everyday life. And before concluding, as Vice Rector for Postgraduate and Doctorate Programs, I would emphasize the space that this conference gave to young researchers. I'm very glad about this. I appreciate your poster session, and I appreciate quite a lot the prize that you gave for the 3 best posters. We know that investing on the training of the youngest researchers, investing on talents, is the key for the future of our universities. So, congratulations again. I hope that inside and interactions between the participants can be transformed into new ideas and fruitful collaborations. And dear guests, I hope that you will have good memory of this meeting, of our university, and of our city. Thank you.
Mamma mia, ancora mi ammazzo io. So, now I have to thank a lot of persons that make this conference so beautiful. First of all, I would like to thank all the members of the scientific committee, Mauro Bernardi, Livio Finos, Luigi Grossi, Anna Maria Guolo, Fausta Ongaro, Marco Tosi, Bruno Scarpa. But not only, I would like to thank all the organizing committee, competent, kind collaborators that help us to make this conference possible and successful in presence and virtually. In particular, Elena Guzzonato, Vincenzo Agosto, Mirko Moro, Paolo Scopelliti, and LC Congressi. So, finally, let's go back to our distinguished speakers and members of the advisory board. All of you gave an important contribution to make this event really outstanding. And on behalf of the department, actually, I would like to give you a present, a small present. I'm going to start from a quite sad story. Happened 4 years ago in the northeastern region of Italy. I am talking about the Vaia storm. A wrongly definition because winds reached the speed of 200 kilometers per hour for several hours, becoming an hurricane, here the female name Vaia. As for all the other similar extreme meteorological events, the storm caused very serious damages to Italian forests on the Dolomiti Mountains. Just in one day, the strong wind knocked down about 8 million cubic meters of wood. Think that this area alone produces almost the 67% of all Italian timber. So, as I said before, it's a sad story. However, at the moment, 60,000 trees have been planted thanks to the Vaia project, starting with the broken trunks. A message of rebirth and beauty took the form of a completely handmade design object, a natural amplifier combining music, technology, and a commitment to plant a new tree for each sold Vaia cube. So it is a great pleasure to invite here our guest to give this present before closing the conference. So, I don't want to fall down, sorry. Thank you. So, sì, possono anche non vedermi bene. So, Professor Annette Baudisch. Can you stay here for the photo? Yeah. Professor Daniele Durante. It's the second choice for me. Professor Hubert Schnatter, Silvia. Sorry. Professor Irene Gibbels, Professor Emily Grundi, Professor Robin Hindman, Professor Arthur Hoven, Professor Giovanni Parmigiani, thank you very much, Professor Laura Maria Sangalli, actually I want to thank you also all the invited speakers that they couldn't be here for some reasons or because they just left. So Professor Candes, Professor Colosimo, Professor Meng, Professor Robert, Professor Rousseau, and Professor Vespignani. Then I'm going to call the other important part of this project. So the member of the advisory board, Professor Tommaso Proietti, Professor Ernst Witt, and Professor Zagheni, Emilio Zagheni. I decided. So now we can have a picture with all of you, and also, and again, thanks for everything to my colleagues and to my excellent department.